Breaking news. It's over. The grand adventures are over. Both of them. And we're live. Let me do that.
Every time.
Hey, easy. Right. So, buddy, breaking news. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I got to give a little disclaimer here. I'm going to share this. I'm going to email it out to everybody that was in the grand adventure so we can all get in here and get cozy. Take your shoes off before you come in. Here's the deal. I'm having a lot of computer issues, so it's possible this might lock up and we might go offline. If it does, we will be back. We will come back online with a laptop. But yeah, it's not like it's not part of one of the puzzles. We're having issues over here.
Yeah, what are all those books behind you, Mike?
Oh, that's a little book called Vegas Die. For those who know, you know. All right, let's do it like this before we get people in here. Here we go. Haven't done this in a little while either. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Everything's messed up over here. I had to redo my whole computer.
It's open when it's light. It's open when it's dark. It's the treasure hunt amusement park. Masquerade and Forrest Fenn are closed, but there are plenty more rides than just those. There's Beacon Star and Treasure Man, Vegas Die and Oak Island. Give them a try and you'll be smiling. This place never closes, that's for certain. There's always a reason to keep searching. Boots on the ground, look, look, look. Your ticket to the ride is the book. The dream of the treasure is the hook. The dream of the treasure is the hook. Keep searching forever, start searching now. Grand adventures with K-Pro and Cow. The secret, a gypsy's kiss, the whistle pig. Come watch our show, win a prize, little or big. This place never closes, that's for certain. There's always a reason to keep searching. Boots on the ground, look, look, look. Your ticket to the ride is the book. The dream of the treasure is the hook. The dream of the treasure is the hook.
Okay. Take it away, K-Pro.
Let's see. I want to say a couple things.
Before we get
into everything, I want to say hi to Anagram. There was us at dinner.
Yeah, we just had dinner with Anagram.
I know some of you are going, that's not an Anna. Yes, that is, because it's anagram. Get it? Anagram. It's not a lady, it's an anagram. That's anagram. And yes, his entire solve was based on anagrams. So I put in the chat that I might be a little ornery because I might have had a margarita on anagram, maybe more than one. Just saying. And so what are we doing tonight? We are going to go over our solves, our solutions, and then we do have an update on the Forrest Fenn hunt that I might just comment on.
So I had to redo my entire computer, and guess what? I have to log into Facebook, which I haven't done in 18 years. Hang on, I got to look stuff up. Man,
I could say anything right now, and he won't hear me.
I got way too many things happen. So again, if we lose connection, I'm having memory errors. I'm having hard drive errors. We have all kinds of issues over here.
We'll be fighting together, says Bobby D. See, Bobby D, now that I've met you,
Bobby D
like so sweet, and you're kind of ornery sometimes in these rooms. And so you get kind of a split little, like when you're just so nice. You were so nice to meet. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. But Copper Dan's in here, and oh my gosh, we've started a little situation between Copper Dan and I.
Copper Dan and his gold penis.
Oh my gosh, don't say that right out loud.
Hey, what happened? Wait, what happened?
Because I can. He's in the house. Oh, Silver Fox.
Everybody wants an OK Pro solution, and it better be good.
Okay.
We'll see. So, you guys be the judge. We'll get to it.
And then I want to get to some Forrest Fenn stuff because I got something to say. But I will take a moment. Okay, so where's the gold penis? The gold penis just arrived. Cynthia's back in town.
Is that her nickname in high school? Hey.
Okay, so
At least the soundboard still works. Everything else.
yeah, Mike is really off because his computer exploded, and I said to him, can you just pick it up, throw it in the trash, and go buy another one? It doesn't matter how much. We'll like split. But he spent all day and he's frustrated and he's not happy. And
then I was all ready to buy a new one, and then I realized how much money we're paying out for the Grand Adventure. Just kidding, everybody. Congratulations to the winners, and if you guys don't know, we're going to tell you who the winners are too.
Yeah, so here's what happened. I gave the super huge hint of mass proportion right in the middle of VGK's show, and we actually had 2 people submit the correct answer. So I knew when a key.
No, yeah, you're right. Go ahead. So no, but
one came many hours after the other one. Yeah, after I'd already announced it, but I don't think they knew that that had happened.
Not true, Minotaur, that you or anybody else can prove anyway. Okay, so
I think that's funny. Ooh.
Still trying. All right, so I emailed the link to everybody that was in the Grand Adventure. Those are the people that really want to see this. If you guys are out there going, well, what's the Grand Adventure? I don't even know what it is. Well, you're about to see what the solution is. And maybe you want to play the next one.
Well, and so here's what, let me kind of spool up what we're doing now, what we're planning in the future and what we need from you guys. If you are a part of the Grand Adventure, we're going to be sending you a survey after we go through all of this, probably tomorrow. We want to know what you like, what you didn't like. We didn't want to put it out before the solution. I will tell you with my solution, I'm going to go over. Okay, I thought I heard a dog growling. We're going to go over all the different aspects and hints and clues. Most of you are going to hate it. And I know that right now because you didn't get it. And I'm sorry about that. I think it was pretty clever, but I'm already waiting for the hate. Like levels of hate that I usually receive and continue to receive from Forrest Fenn haters.
And I thought mine was pretty clever, but we're not the judges. You guys are going to be the judges. Yeah, so everybody who bought in, all 101 people, we want you to email us and give us your thoughts. Watch the solution.
No, we don't. No,
well, you'll get a survey we want you to fill out as well. Email me and give me your thoughts too. Okay. All right. I think I set this everywhere it's going. So there you go.
Lori Barnes, send an email to cowlazars@gmail.com because we do have some books. So we're going to go through mine first since mine was better and harder. And so I put a little PowerPoint together. And the biggest thing I want you to think about is you didn't need to get all of the hints. You just needed to get a few of them to really focus on the correct solution.
The Vegas die books are here. They're going in the mail tomorrow.
Hey guys, did I miss it? No, Outcast Searcher just arrived. We're going to go over mine first, and then we're going to go over Mike's second, and then we're going to go over a few updates on the Forrest Fenn hunt, and one in particular that I have some things to say. Hate, except for Mike's just kidding.
We'll see. You guys may love K-Pros. You may hate it. Yeah, it's be interesting in the chat.
And we are already ready for we're not ready yet. Mike and I battled out some things that we already knew. We have the story ready. We are now putting in the hints. We need to know how to put in the hints with you guys. Say no ciphers. I do think it's really funny that Steve Grogan put in a cipher and you were like, that son of a beep. He put in ciphers.
He surprised me. Check it out. If Vegas dies, a treasure hunt in Vegas, everybody, and we only have 1 or 2 books left. But if you want to buy one,
hi Redneck.
Playing card suits are back. Those were Morse code in the original book. I haven't even had time to look at this yet to know if they're Morse or not. But here's the other thing: in about 4 or 5 different places in this book, and we're just making time for people to get in here to watch. 4 or 5 places in this book, unrelated to the story, we have these. Bam, and that is in fact a cipher of some kind. Everybody. That is an actual cipher. Does anybody know the name for bonus points? Does anybody know what the name of that cipher is right there? I just don't know yet if I haven't translated them yet, but that is a known cipher. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, so Outcast Searcher, weren't you not happy at all? Mike's puzzles weren't all solved to get to the solution. Actually, that happened with mine too. And that's one of the bits of feedback. I will say mine was intentional that way though, because there were so many different words and hints. I knew you didn't have to have all of them. There was a couple of key ones. But I did do the same thing as you were asked. And I asked the person that solved it if they could tell me how they solved it. And they got a few of the key ones, a few of the other little ones, but not all of them. So I'm going to go over that. Quadruple encrypted cipher. Yeah. Ciphers suck. Okay, but you
No,
guys might think as I go through mine that, oh, that's a cipher. Okay, that's not what I call a cipher.
I'm going through mine tonight, and you'll see how easy the answers really were. They're simple. They're simple. And actually, if anybody's like, "Oh, I don't want you to say it. I want to work on it," then cut it off. When we get to my part, don't watch it. You can work on it. All right.
So
all right, here we go, everybody.
Cut it off with Mike. Okay.
Cut it off.
Cut it off. Let's see. I don't know how to do this. What do I do? Share screen.
Yeah, oh, wait. I got to let you.
Host must allow you to do.
Yeah, I have to allow you to share screen. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let's try this again. Share screen. Oh, wait. I'm on the wrong slide. Hold on. E. Okay, and it might not be perfect. I tried to. Okay, share screen.
Well, you
Hold
can always
on.
email it to me if you wanted to.
Share. Oh, you be quiet. Okay, K-Pro solution. Here we go. I want.
K-Pro cow pow wow.
Sorry. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay. K-Pro solution. Are you going to do it the view, or is that's fine? You like play it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
There you go.
So K-Pro solution. Here we go.
K-Pro's Grand Adventure, everybody. We do have a winner. And I'll say right now that winner is Long Way to Tipperary. Congratulations to Long Way to Tipperary. The very first person to send in the correct solution. Here you go. Take it away, K-Pro.
Okay, so here's a solution. And then I'll go over at the very end how that person came up with it. It was very simple. More rake is better.
You just gave it to him? All right. That is the answer she was looking for, everybody. More rake is better. Well, I thought you were going to explain it. And that's
absolutely.
Okay. That's all.
Yeah.
How in the world, K-Pro, could you get more rake is better from your poem?
Yeah, so you look at this, and it's right now or soon. Forrest Fenn and the Finder sit 2 left. It's all about Forrest Fenn. It's all, you guys didn't get everything had a double meaning. Everything except for one short clue, and that's actually what gave it away between my poker and the one clue that related to Forrest Fenn. But I want to go over everything. So yes, we did have somebody submit rake, but rake was not it. So
picked up on rake. That's true.
Yes, people picked up on rake, and actually early on, KC Ma was one of them that picked up on poker very early, and he was in the Zooms, and people let him. They're like, "Oh, okay, but let's look at this," and he got
8.
Yeah, but look at so everything that's color coded. I am going over right now. Okay, Copper Dan, I'm focused here.
Now, Silver Fox says, "Oh, specialized knowledge required." We'll talk about that.
No, we'll talk about that in a second because I had not heard this. Well, hold on. So here are all the different ways and hints that were given throughout. I'm going to go over these in sections. So I don't believe there's specialized knowledge because you just needed to be able to use Google. Okay, so I'm going to go over step by step. So right now or soon, Forrest Fenn and the Finder, 2 left. So this was a battle of 2 people. This was wordplay. It gets tricky, not like with a kid. These are 2 people's handles in poker. Once you figured out poker, actually KC had figured out kid. He knew who Kid Poker was. That's okay. I think I'm still here. Hold on. Be quiet. Am I still live, guys? I'm still live. I just don't think you are. Let's see. Can you guys tell me if I'm still live? Okay. It looks like Mike's computer exploded again. And so he has a blue screen of death, and he is not happy right now. So I'm going to keep going. Okay. So we're at the part of tricky and kid. These are 2 people's handles. So 2 left, we're going to get to poker, and poker was one that I was just flat out gave, but I'm going to show how you got it if you worked it out. Tell me in the chat if I am not, because Mike is rebooting. Okay, so tricky, who is tricky? Doug Polk. You guys will get Doug Polk on the next line where I actually put
Doug P and Dan N. Those were the names of the two people. And that's why Mike kept saying they're not the people's names. And I kept saying, no, they're not the searcher names. I'll get to that. But his nickname is Tricky. So Doug Polk, his nickname, everybody has a handle, just like in treasure hunting. And the other is Kid Poker, and that's Daniel Negreanu. These, if you have your phone, Zozo Rock said you could jump in via phone. So these are the two people. So we have two left, Daniel Negreanu and Doug Polk, which is Kid Poker and Tricky. Those are the two names. So they are matching wits. What do you do in poker? You're matching wits. So this is kind of a word play again, but not specific enough. I don't think you could have gotten it just by wits or two left, really any of these right now. But we're building. Again, like Casey said, kid, there's just so many different references. Okay, so who are we talking about? This is the one that would have given it away. You guys were thinking Douglas Preston, Randy Pitchell, Dan Kopp, Burdan, and Nelica. So the last names were misspelled on purpose. So the last names you rule out except for the initial. So the first name and the last initial, Doug P and Dan N. Those were the two people you were looking for. So ask questions if I know nothing about poker. Oh, well, Lorraine, I didn't know a lot about this. I know poker, but I didn't know about this battle going on until I heard about it on one of the poker blogs, and then I had to go research it. So everything in here is, I didn't know who Doug Polk was. I did know who Daniel Negreanu was. So I didn't need a lot of specialized knowledge. Super chat Cal for a new computer. Yeah, he needs one. Okay, so we have Doug P and Dan N. And the person that won knew nothing at all about poker, which I think is funny too. Okay, so a lot of you guys thought of Mike with Vegas and me with Raleigh, Nelica with Canada, and Indy with California. No, because again, this has nothing to do with the Forrest Fenn hunt. So Doug was born in California, but he lives in Raleigh. Daniel was born in Canada and lives in Vegas. So again, oh, we don't want to tell them. Okay. Okay, guys, keep going here. Copper Dan, he just super chatted for you to have Mike's trying. Okay, so guys, focus. So these references were to the two people. I thought Canada would give it away because Canada and Daniel, he's kind of famous for that. Vegas, again, some people were getting some analogies like Vegas into poker, but they didn't get there. So we have Doug, we have Daniel, but what is this beef that we're talking about? There was a major controversy in 2016. I had to look this up. I didn't know it, but all of this kind of comes together. In 2016, there was an interview where Daniel Negreanu said more rake is better. Rake is the money off the top that a casino takes. And there was a lot of controversy about that specific quote. Mike hadn't heard the quote and I hadn't heard the quote, but in the elite poker circles, it's kind of a famous quote, and it's caused a lot of discussion. Again, not huge enough that if you put in poker quote, you would have gotten it. That's what a lot of you guys did last night. Okay, so it was in 2016. So scrapbook, 16 or 20. It was 2016. Nothing related to Forrest Fenn. Then do not go to 10 as it is not the one, but look 3 times. So on October 1st, there was an interview, 10-1. It was published in 3 parts. Here's the 3 parts where Daniel was on this guy's YouTube, where it was on October 1st. It was published in 3 parts. So that's the 10-1-3. Everything else you could rule out. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, so YouTube, lawsuits, forums, t-shirts, Twitter, and a billboard. Billboard was the really big one, but if you started going onto YouTube and you put in any of these names, they both had YouTube channels. They both started this rivalry. There was a lawsuit. I think I have that on the next one. There was a lawsuit against Doug Polk. So you could reference there. The big one is there is a forum called 2+2. You can see 2+2 in the next line. 2+2 is kind of like Thor, but it is the biggest forum in poker. So that's a little bit of specialized knowledge, but no one got that. Anyway, I think I have the next one.
That's me. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. The next is, it became controversial, and this is where this saying started to really take off. Doug Polk would come to events, and you can see he's wearing a shirt that says "More rake is better," and he only did it to just mess with Daniel Negreanu. And unfortunately, Daniel rises to the occasion. He was kind of known as the kind of classy guy. He loses his mind a couple times because he's being trolled, basically. We have Twitter handles. Both of them have Twitter handles, you can see. But this is the big one. So at the World Series of Poker, Polk paid for a billboard outside at the Rio, "More rake is better." And he actually got the domain name, moreраkeisbetter.com. So another one, and the billboard was the real takeaway, but all of those point to these two guys and this rivalry. One has his favorite, one made him rich. So if you figured out Daniel Negreanu, he has a favorite hand that he always plays that he shouldn't. Doug says he doesn't have a favorite hand, but one of them got him in a cash game over $1 million. So what are those? We drank too much. A lot of people are like, you and Indy. No, we drank too much but we learned. When you drink too much and you go to learn, that's Alcoholics Anonymous, which is called AA. So Doug Polk's favorite hand is AA. There's a big video about it. Again, I didn't know. Oh my gosh. Okay. You guys, be nice, be nice, be nice. Okay. Yeah, you guys are all into statistics. There was no statistics needed. We're talking wordplay. The other was out of service. Out of service on police code is 10-7, and that was the favorite hand for Daniel Negreanu. It is a phrase. I flat out said it here. Some people were like, what do I need? It's a phrase. I'll be needing your attorney's number. You have the wrong solution, and I think you answered it yourself. Okay, be nice, guys. I'm almost done. Mike said, okay, this is the big one. Everybody said, recalculate K-Pro path, convert arm. They're like, I know something's there. All you have to do is take the first and the last letter of that line, and it comes out to REKOP space HCTMAM, which backwards is poker match. It's for you like Cipher people. This is the first. I mean, how can I even get any more? Like, it's right there. This is like the shout out to Mike. This is as ciphery as I get. First and last letter. You know how long it took me to figure this out? Recalculate K-Pro path. I can't hear you, Mike. Each word. What did I say? Okay, Mike's saying something, but I can't hear.
First letter of each word.
First and last letter of each word. Yes. Okay, he's still trying. Okay, so no more puzzles for K-Pro. Okay, hang in there with me, guys. I swear. Okay, find it in tight focus, 24 lines, 166 words. If you put this entire thing, many people were playing with exactly how many. There are not 24 lines, there's 17 lines. There's not 166 words, there's 194 words. If you take 24 minus 17, it's 7, and 192 minus 166, it's 26. 7/26, July 26th, that's Daniel's birthday. Come on, guys. This is like, I'm handing it to you. I handed it to you. Okay, let's keep going. They couldn't, okay, this is the one that would break everything loose. And a lot of you guys got this early on, that they couldn't take away my name, Lori L. Finn. Lori L. Finn does not exist as I know of. That anagrams perfectly, see what I did there? Anagrams to Errol Flynn. If you go to Terry Scant, this is the only reference to the Forrest Fenn hunt. Guys, stop it. Okay, listen, this one's good. This one's good. If you go to the only quote that Forrest is given on Errol Flynn, he says, you know, I'm reminded of the word rake. You know what a rake is? Look at this at the bottom, this white box. A rake is somebody who is halfway between a scoundrel and a good guy. Errol Flynn was a rake. Do you guys see? Like rake, you have the keyword now. It's all over. If you got Daniel P. Or Douglas and Daniel and rake, it's done. Well, most of you did. Once you put in a few of these things, but rake, I handed it to you. handed it to you. There's the keyword. Now, a lot of you guys got Errol Flynn and you started giving me Errol Flynn movies, Errol Flynn this, Errol Flynn that. You didn't get the poker piece, which was recalculate, K-Pro, path, convert, arm, poker match. I got robbed. Okay. Okay. See, Outcast got that. It was you were so close. Outcast, 2 people got this. Okay. My favorite flights at 200 feet into the teeth of the Rockies. During this battle, Daniel Negreanu said he was going to kick his teeth in and then do something really nasty with them. I won't go into that detail. And Polk responded, I hope to leave with his money and my teeth. So teeth has been like a big thing in the headlines. If you were just to look up headlines. Again, I didn't know about this. Hey, Sam, can you let the dog out, please? Okay, so same thing, teeth. So teeth had if you would have put in teeth, Daniel, poker, you would have seen this. So teeth was a keyword that would have come up in a Google search. Okay, you guys are gonna, okay. And then positivity always triumphs over negativity. Did you know Kid Poker's ex-wife was named Lori L? Amber, I didn't. Oh my gosh, I need to add. There's even more clues in here. I did not know that. That's awesome. Ex-wife. I didn't even know he had an ex-wife. I know he has a new wife. Did you know this, Mike? Mike is not listening to me at all. Okay. He was worse than a Rick. Okay. Positivity always triumphs over negativity. When 2 people are going at it and getting trolled, what does Mike say? Boris said I have to stay with him forever because he gets it that positivity always triumphs over negativity. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. And then here's the other one. And some of you guys got this. The Outcast, you're going to hate the numbers. So I should just skip that part. But here's the other one. The first letter of the first stanza is Rickard. Rickard Berg is the one that did the famous interview that this came out. Yeah, look how easy it is. First letter. And some of you guys got Rickard, then you're like, is it Ricardo? Is it? No, it's Rickard. If you put in Rickard and poker, you would have had this. It would have been over. Do you see? Right there. Okay. So, oh, you're going to hate this one. But you should love this one. You were so mad when I knocked you out of poker. Yeah, that was kind of why. Okay, so the numbers at the bottom that you guys went down so many rabbit holes, all it told you was the number of hints on each line. So the number of words that were related to hints on each and every line. So 2 left, those are 2. Tricky, kid, and wits is 3 on the second line, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, going all the way down. I think I have, yeah. So that's all that one was. That's why when so many of you were focusing on this, I had to get you out of that rabbit hole. It was helpful to get kind of numbers, but it was not helpful the way you guys were looking at it. Like you were calculating and math and all of that. Oh, someone mentioned Rickard. You should have had it. Okay. Okay. When you look at this, I can't believe there's so many. Doug Polk, Tricky, Doug P. I said his name. I put his name right in there. Raleigh, California, lawsuits, made him rich, AA, Daniel Negreanu, Kid Poke, Daniel N. I said his name right there. Las Vegas, Canada, favorite hand, 10-7. Birthday, I put his birthday right in there. Right in there. Rake had the interview. Rake had the Rickard Aberg. I gave you the exact date. It came out in 3 parts. Errol Flynn for Rake. The t-shirt had Rake. The billboard had Rake. And the phrase itself has Rake in it. So Rake was just dripping all over this very short poem that had so many. I know you guys are mad. I'm so sorry. Okay. And then the reference to Polk and Negreanu. This is why Forrest didn't want to give out, or the finder doesn't want to give out their solution. You guys are hating solutions. Okay, 2 left, U2s. This is a reference to both of them. The 2+2 forum, Twitter, the conflict about the teeth and positivity over negativity, poker match. It actually says poker match. Now, do you call this some sort of cipher? I don't know. The one that's recalculate, K-Pro path, convert arm. Look 3 times. Yeah, and Nick came up with the songs, look, look, look. And it was like, I didn't want to say no, but that's what I was going to say. So again, if you look at this, look at all of the different hints, just dripping in this. The minute that poker was said, I think everybody got it. We're going to delete this live. No, there it is. Love me or hate me. Yeah, there you have it. So as much as I had to give, I'm quitting forever. No, that's what I have. So I don't think it's complicated. I don't think it's weird. Well, but that's how my mind works. So I think at the beginning I got at least 100 submissions, all Forrest Fenn related. When I said no more Forrest Fenn, like it's not Forrest Fenn, still I got Forrest Fenn related. I got a lot of Errol Flynn movies. Then when I said poker, there was probably, I think everybody was guessing at that point, just poker terms, all in, you know, whatever. So, okay, Joe Miller says, good job. Okay, one person. Sorry, guys. That's what I had. But 50 different ways, 50 plus different ways that it all pointed to the same term. So you just had to think outside the box. But again and again and again, once poker got out, it was over. And I knew that. So, okay. Yeah, Outcast, that would have actually been the one that I would have had a hard time saying no to if anybody would have submitted that one of Women Are the Rake. I actually had the shirt on that Women Are the Rake. So honey, what's going on? I know you can't see the chat. They said they loved it. They loved mine more than yours.
So I pointed out to them the next range, well, we'll be different. We're going to switch it up for both of ours. We're going to make it.
Well, we have to learn from you guys. So
let them know that whenever my PC's back, maybe I'll make a video on mine. I'm not going to be able to do it.
Okay. So Mike's not going to be able to get on, and Mike's not going to be able to go over his. I need to keep the Zoom on though. So let me go to, okay. So did you guys have any questions before I take this down? This beautiful masterpiece of a poem. And here's the thing, I talked to Forrest about this and he said I was mean. And the mean part, I think, was the analogy between nothing in here except for the Lori L. Finn was related to Forrest. And it looked like everything was. I think somebody said that. Everything. Yeah, it was totally a play on words. So when are we having the YouTuber riddle competition? We should do that. I don't know, when life slows down. My goodness. Okay, does anybody have any questions on this before, because we're not going to get into Mike's side. And oh, Mike's not going to be able to sign on. So I'll just have to weigh in on the Forrest Fenn updates. I started looking at poker things when you stated there's more than 50 hints. I thought of a deck of cards of 50. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, Casey Ma, first your car, now your computer. Oh, Mike, we got another chat. Thank you, Casey. He is going to need not only a computer, a nice computer. It's going to be a den, but that's okay. How long did this take you to make, James? Probably about 3 weeks, but I will tell you the recalculate K-Pro path convert arm was more than half of it. I wanted that to be either poker, poker match, plain poker, poker rake, something like that. And I just couldn't make it, and it's convert arm. I just couldn't make it work. That was what took me the longest. So
you can tell them that Outcast Searcher is the one that solved mine.
Oh, okay. So those of you that don't know, Outcast Searcher solved Mike's. And then
Long Way to Tipperary.
Long Way to Tipperary solved mine. So I will tell you, both were Zoomers. That's interesting. I think the Zooms helped a lot. I think some of you gave away a lot of stuff, but the interesting part in the Zooms, some people were coming up with the right answer, but things went different ways. So I just want to say bravo, well done. Fenny Bone said, well done. He doesn't care. That was the best part. I don't know what part that was. So when you guys see, okay, you're going to go through Mike's probably tomorrow. He'll get his together. Then I need you guys to give me what you guys like. I'm going to be sending out a survey. It's anonymous. It's just more informational. Did you buy into our hunts? What did you like most about it? What did you hate most about it? What would you do again? Would you buy in again? The Zooms made it a lot of fun, definitely. And that's where I think, I know I got a lot of good ideas and information on hints. That's the other thing. Should we give hints? Shouldn't we give hints? Should we wait on hints? What that should look like. I missed it. Go over it again. Randy, I'm not going through all that again. And Randy, I don't know if you should put out your solution when you finally have a solution. That was a little brutal. I knew it would be. I knew it would be. But that's okay. Oh, and Mr. Clue's in the room. Mr. Clue, we are so close, but we're not. Okay, so I'm okay. So no other questions on this. See there, but you guys were guessing a lot because I think Nick is the one that said mine was very subjective and Mike's was very objective. I saw mine very objective. You just needed to be able to figure out every single line had hints in it. I think you guys were just guessing. All's fair in love and Capro's poem. Okay. I hope for just the $10 submission fee, that was enough. Why was it brutal? Because Randy, I don't think anybody liked my solution. They were telling me that it wasn't, that Capro's logic is wonderful. Okay, Mike, you're going to get in trouble if you keep putting stuff in the chat. Okay, anyway, so what do we want to go over now? There is a couple of updates in the Forrest Fenn community. Should we talk about that? Mike, are you okay with me talking about that by myself? He's not listening to me. Okay, I think he's listening on the delay. Okay, so more with, oh, Master Morpheus is in here too. You're back. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, so, oh, nice. Outcast said, even for $10, I would do it again. At least it wasn't too easy. I was worried first hour it was going to break it. Yeah. So, okay. Okay, so let's put some updates out in the Forrest Fenn community. Yeah, that's not helpful to me. He just answered the question I asked 30 seconds ago. Okay, so let's talk about the Forrest Fenn hunt. I want to give huge condolences to the family. There was a statement that was put out and a news article that went over the timing of what happened when Forrest passed. That's up on the Facebook page, but basically he was found unconscious Monday morning. He had a private ambulance. That's why the police the scanners didn't pick it up. And he was taken to a hospital. He had a do not resuscitate order. So he came back unconscious. They had him pass with his family. That was Monday, late afternoon, early evening. No information got out to the press because since it did, it was all done by private ambulance. So that was Tuesday morning that information got into the presses. Some of the friends, and I say that with quotation fingers because I think the family wanted as much time to privately grieve as possible, but it did get into the press by Tuesday. I think leaked by some friends of friends kind of thing in the family. So that was Monday and Tuesday. Some were speculating that it was a head trauma due to a fall. I think the information out confirms that it was not. It looks like it may have been a heart attack. And so it supposedly the details were that Forrest was found in his den by they call it hospice staff, but it's really the caregiver that was there. Forrest made, if you were ever there in the mornings with Forrest, he made a waffle, or he made breakfast for Peggy when when that timing passed, that is where the caregiver went into Forrest Fenn to see what was going on, and she found him. So that is the details from a press standpoint. So the family has indicated that they have no comments, don't call, etc. There is not going to be a service, from what I understand at all now. I misinterpreted. I talked to Cynthia either earlier today or yesterday. It's not that they're not having a service for searchers, they're not having a public service at all. And so, yeah, that is the updates there. I don't think we'll see much more out. I think probably there'll be a family statement. The obituary is up. And if you go to legacy.com, you can actually sign the guest book if you would like to. So that information is out as well. How is Peggy? I don't have any direct information. I know that she was there. She was named to be there in the press. I will say the whole family was there. I believe he wanted to be back with his family. You know, he didn't want to be in a hospital, just like he said, so anyway, so I think everybody's grieving. I mean, this is just, it's so unexpected. So, yeah. So, yeah, so that's as I just think everybody's grieving. And so that'll get me to the other portion. I'm going to turn my, my chat off for a minute because I am going to bring up a document. It looks like our Chicago attorney has turned, amended her lawsuit, and the lawsuit now is including Forrest's family, and request for a subpoena. So I want to go through that, so I'm going to more state facts, because I think I'm a little raw right now, so I don't want to put in the words that I think in my mind when I read this. I just think of a grieving family and how hard this must be, especially for a person who said she has no ill will and is so affectionate towards Forrest. And Forrest, it wasn't the target at all. And now the amount of things she's asking of the family. So it goes into Anderson served a subpoena. Anderson did not receive a response to same. Instead, Anderson received an unverified motion to quash. So that's the first section. So it's kind of going over. She does believe that it says counsel for Mr. Fenn has only been obstructionist and evasive towards very basic questions about this matter. So I think she thought, I've seen correspondence between her and the attorney, because she's included me on them. And I can just say she asked a lot of very strange questions. And I think she was puzzled why Forrest's attorney isn't giving her just information on many odd things. So the newest unverified claim is that the finder is not the same as Anderson quote, Joe's stalker. So she did reference the quash order that came from Forrest's attorney. There is no question that Anderson's solve is or was correct. See Anderson's response to the motion to quash and cross motion. Anderson has offered to go over the same with the court in camera proceedings. That offer still stands. So there's no question in her mind that it is in New Mexico and her solve was correct, even though there were several YouTube shows where she went over that she didn't have it completely solved. So I'm going to stop ad-libbing. A few days ago, it was announced in the media that Mr. Fenn passed away. Anderson is now requesting a copy of the death certificate and the will from the attorney, who surprisingly emailed Anderson yesterday, despite the immediacy of the news of his former client, presumably without even beginning to address the descendant's estate. So she basically said, I can't believe he surprisingly emailed me before having to deal with the state. Well, it's probably because he would like this to be off of the shoulder of the family, because they are in a very emotional time. Well, again, in response to his emails, Anderson also asked to the whereabouts of the chest, as she does in her response to the motion to quash. Anderson also asked Ms. Sumner, who authorized his email, to be given to the purported passing of his client. So purported passing, she's not saying he passed. She said it's been purportedly, the purported passing. Again, Anderson got nothing but obstruction from Mr. Sumner. In her motion for discovery, Anderson advised this court that she was concerned that information relative to the finding/solve of the chest would be lost if prompt discovery orders were not issued. Anderson's concerns may very well be a reality if the obstruction by Mr. Fenn's former counsel is not stopped by this court. I'm not sure why it says former counsel, but maybe I don't know something. Anderson asked this court to consider its orders relative to the scope of discovery now that Mr. Fenn has purportedly passed. Every day that passes means the potential loss of information from Mr. Fenn's estate, evidence of the finding and the solve. I think what we were waiting on is Ms. Anderson to respond to the judge, who's asked on several occasions to actually respond. Okay, let me keep going. Likewise, Anderson asked this court to promptly rule. The judge ruled and wanted more information, but I guess she's saying no, judge, because that's how it works. The lawyer gets to tell the judge how it works. Okay, sorry, I'm going to stop. I'm stopping again because Likewise, Anderson asked this court to promptly rule on the pending motion to quash and Anderson's cross motion to compel. Anderson asked that this court rule on same before directing Anderson to file an amended complaint herein. Anderson asked that this court ordered Mr. Sumner to appear on the record in a Zoom conference to address his obstructionist conduct towards the subpoena and allegations that the conclusions to the chase suggests a hoax. His clients now, in light of Mr. Fenn purportedly passing, detail relative to the estate of Forrest Fenn, including whether the estate possesses the chest, and if not, who does, because that's in his. The identity of the finder, information relative to the solve, discovery relative to the purported hiding and retrieval of the chest, and his continued obstructionist conduct towards Anderson's repeated requests for information. Number 7, in light of the purported passing of Mr. Fenn, Anderson asked that the court A, amend Anderson's subpoena to Mr. Fenn on its face to reflect that it is now directed to the unknown heirs of Mr. Fenn. B, order Mr. Sumner to amend his pending motion to quash to reflect who, if anyone, he now has the legal authority to represent and the pursuant to what, i.e. will, probate, estate. C, strike the motion to quash in whole or at least in part, i.e. to have Mr. Fenn sit for an in-camera examination without Anderson present as being impossible moot. So she's saying now that Mr. Fenn obviously can't sit for an in-camera, just to that part at least. In light of the purported passing of Mr. Fenn and the continued obstructionist conduct of Mr. Sumner, Anderson asked the court to A, reconsider the discovery order, B, to conduct a status with Mr. Sumner, directing him to answer questions relative to the solve, who has knowledge of the solve in light of Mr. Fenn's purported passing, the current location of the chest, the identity of the finder. Number 9, Anderson also requests additional time to file her amended complaint in light of Mr. Fenn's passing. The obstruction by Mr. Sumner to information, including basic information relative to the finder, and the ever-increasing likelihood that Anderson may have claims against the estate of Mr. Fenn if discovery and direct answers are not immediately tendered. Anderson asked for a reasonable time to file an amended complaint. A, in light of the above new legal obstacles surrounding the purported passing of Mr. Fenn and unanswered questions about his purported descendants' estate. B, after this court rules on the pending motion to quash and cross motion to compel. C, after given discovery, including relative to the finder. D, after reconsideration of in its ruling relative to the scope of discovery as to the solve, etc., in light of the purported passing of Mr. Fenn. Anderson asks for orders by this court so as to ensure answers to the above legal factual matters. Given that Mr. Sumner has no standing to make argument before this court, as addressed in Anderson's pending cross motion, and in light of the purported passing of his client, Anderson asked the court to rule on the above request without briefing, except for Mr. Sumner to clarify what his continued role in this litigation is, and pursuant to what legal authority he has standing to further address this court, including but not limited to outstanding subpoenas. So, wherefore, Anderson requests A, that the court issue an order giving direction in light of the purported passing of Mr. Fenn relative to the pending motions. B, strike the motion to quash in its entirety or in part in light of the purported passing of Mr. Fenn. C, allow Anderson to amend the subpoena on its face that is directed against the unknown heirs of Mr. Fenn. D, direct Mr. Sumner to clarify whether his limited role herein is the subpoena, as to the subpoena will continue, and if so, direct him to clarify whom he represents and pursuant to what legal authority, i.e. will probate case. E, order a Zoom status conference to address the above and continued obstruction by Mr. Sumner relative to Anderson's inquiries as to the finder, the solve, discovery relative to the find, solve, the preservation of discovery, the conclusion of the chase, etc. F, that this court rule on the pending motion and order the unknown heirs promptly provide the contact information of the finder before ordering Anderson to file an amended complaint herein. G, reconsider its ruling relative to the scope of discovery herein. A, the purported passing of Mr. Fenn. B, the suspect and potentially fraudulent ending to the chase, and order immediate discovery relative to the solve and finding of the chest before ordering Anderson to file an amended complaint herein. So I believe by that last one, the suspect and potentially fraudulent ending to the chase. So it sounds like she's, by that, she's now saying that there's something suspect here rather than I love and adore and have birthday presents for Forrest and I just want this stalker. It doesn't sound like it's about a stalker at all anywhere. It sounds like it's a completely different case to me, but I'm a layman, so I'm not sure. I don't even understand because there's no, yeah. So there you have it. So yeah, and she said that, Denise, she only wants to know who the finder. She said that in her YouTube videos several times, like, well, once I get the finder, I'll have them answer that about the solve or this about the solve. I didn't know this and I didn't know that, but I'll get that information, which is interesting in itself. So that is the update there. So it sounds like there's a lot there. So so there's a request of proof of the purported passing of Forrest, the motions that they're already there, reconsideration where the judge, I guess, has already considered the scope of discovery. She's wanting more time, but she's wanting more time. I'm really trying not to ad lib because this really is, makes me emotional. And it sounds like Mr. Sumner, she wants lots of answers to, or has lots of questions too. So that is the update there. So if the family does not have enough to worry about, you know, this is tough. So my heart goes out to the family. It sounds, she was surprised about Sumner wanting to take this as a priority to kind of get this off the family's shoulders. I know there was a statement made like this isn't tough on Forrest at all. It's definitely tough on the family. I think it was tough on Forrest. I think it really weighed heavy on him, the legal things that were going on. So anyway, I'm not going to say any thing derogatory except for, I mean, I read what was derogatory. I mean, this is tough. This is a tough one. So gosh, and we wonder why the finder doesn't want to come forward at all. There's a lot of people like this in the world, or maybe not as many as I worry about our future with things like this that happen. So anyway, this is so I read it to you. I wanted to give you the update. There is the update. I'm saddened by it. I think, you know, their family has gone through so much, and now I didn't know one case could evolve so much on who's being sued, what the accusations are. It keeps evolving. It's, you know, I'm not following all the train of thought. It wasn't Forrest, and now it's a questionable ending. I thought this was a, I was stalked, and there was an actual ending. So this is just bizarre to me. Yeah, it's been, and yeah, it's been, yeah. Okay, so that is all I have, and Mike is not happy with his computer right now. So that's all I have right now. Know that Mike's going to put his solution out, not to the Forrest Fenn, because he does not want to get sued. He is not the finder for anybody that's thinking about that. He's going to put his solution out for his poem. I do want you to get, or his set of videos. I do want to get some feedback from you. If you guys want to write it in an email, but we're going to have a survey. It's going to be short, maybe 10, 15 questions, but it's going to help us because we have decided. Can I tell them what the theme is, Michael? He's so not listening to me. I'm going to tell you. So we're going to pay tribute to Forrest with our, hey, Mike, can I put out what our prize is going to be, or like the theme of our prize for the next one? Yeah. Okay. So he said, okay now, because I totally wasn't going to before he said that. We have quite a few collections and things. Oh, that's going to be tough. Okay. So we have collections and things Mike just said, and you got that. I got the Fenn finale shirt signed by Forrest. He's saying I should include that. Oh, okay. We're going to be taking some of our most precious items for, really it'll be valuable to anybody because they could resell it if they want, but we know how much you guys have been invested. And so we're going to put a whole group of things together. Of course, there'll be searcher coins and chaseopolis and that sort of thing, but more so there's going to be items from the major collection that I have. I have over 50 books. I have lots of things. We're going to take a whole variety of those things. Maybe the t-shirt that Forrest signed, that was one of the last items. I think it's the last item he signed. Okay, I'll have to think about that. And that's going to be our prize for the next hunt. And Mike and I are going to work collaboratively together on this one. So that will be fun as well. So precious items, including a picture of me sniffing you. That's not precious. Precious is Forrest and the things that he gave me, like a pottery chart and just some things that would be awesome. Greg, you're creepy. I'm glad you found each other. Yeah. Okay. Can I tell you guys a secret too? Mike and I, about a year ago, had a huge, super huge blow up. Like, I didn't think we were going to make it. And who do you go to? But the guy that's been married 66 years. And I was able to sit down with Forrest and I told him, and he's like, you both have to forgive. You both have to put behind you. You both, and he gave me these wonderful words. He was like, how do you think Peggy and I, he's like, he's your soulmate. He's like, you have to. He's like, you have to put these things behind you. It's just not worth it. And I was like, but this, but that. And he's like, you want to sit here and tell me you're right, even if you're right. He's like, you're wrong because you're going to lose your soulmate. And I was like, he's like, take a day. He's like, just walk away, take a day. And I took his advice because he's the smartest man ever. Keep the shirt, Amber says. Okay. Precious in the eyes of the owner. Okay. That was my little bit of, because who am I going to go to when I have my major crises? I go to Forrest. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay. All our solves are right. And when we can tell our kids that the chest was right there and they know, tell us any different. Yeah, I let go of mine. I don't know. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Holly, yeah. It was, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. I still don't want to go back to the no, I just put it in the past. I just put it in the past. Gabriel rules. Yeah, I think Mike was already past it. He was just like, okay, no, we got to get past this. This was funny. Yeah, I look back more and just go, I just shake my head. How did we get there? Things just yeah, Copper Dan, I'm here for you. Go to me. Oh gosh, I have Copper Dan. Okay, this tells you the state of things. Rather than going to Forrest and actually I have Toby. Toby's really good at advice as well. I have GTC and Copper Dan. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Keep the shirt, send me the pottery chart, 3D bronze. Oh, I agree with others. Keep the shirt. I'm gonna have to think about that because I do want this prize group to be fantastic, but I do know this is gonna sound terrible. Once I had a hater, like a troll-like person that I know Forrest wasn't too fired up about, that we would hand them $1,000. Who cares? If I had to hand them like a bunch of really great Forrest Fenn stuff that not only like he signed, he personalized, etc. I don't know how I'd feel about that. Go to Dr. Laura. She will tell you to stop talking. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, I'm changing my name. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to have to moderate you there, Copper Dan. That will become legendary forever. Yeah. Yeah, John. No. Oh, my goodness. Okay, my advice is given in shot, blue, red, and purple. Oh, goodness. Yes, that is true. Wow, you guys are as honoring as I am tonight. I got through reading that terrible thing, and I wasn't too terrible. Okay, so that's going to be the theme for our next one. We actually already have, it's going to be a short story, meaning like less than 2 pages. And we are now putting the clues and things into it based on your feedback. So we want your feedback quick. I will get the rest of the survey together probably tomorrow, and then it'll go to the emails that you all provided. Why don't I have a wrench yet? Because you sniff people inappropriately. GTC. I don't know. This is not my channel. Why don't I have a channel anymore? Huh? Think about that. Okay. So yeah, the never go to bed angry. I don't know. Have you met me? Oh, okay. I'm trying to, yeah. Stages of grief. Are we at anger? I don't think, well, I'm kind of between, I'm totally through denial. I think the first stage is denial. Okay, I did the crying. I did a lot of crying. And then, so when Indy went on, it was only like 9 o'clock, 9:30. I had one drink and I fell asleep in the middle of Indy's show. I was so emotionally spent from the last 2 days. And I had kind of a situation with kids. So it was already compounded. And so I slept like 14 hours straight. It was crazy. And then, no, MJ, I'm talking about GTC. He does the creepy, they call it the Biden sniff. Love means having to say sorry on a regular basis. I just said that, and I was totally right in the last couple of days, but I just said sorry because Mike's a good person. Good people deserve. And I'm sorry, even if it was, even if it's not deserved. I'm sorry that we weren't on the same page and now we are, and everything's better. Mike makes my world better. It was that bad. No, Chasing Indy, not your show was that bad. I hit a wall. I hit an emotional wall. So I will tell you, and some of you are in the room, some of you checked on me and I needed to check on some people, and some people just wrote me generically. It took me almost 5 hours to get through all of my messages. I wanted to respond to every single one of them, even if it was just a thank you. Some people really had some things to say. I had to call some people. Some people are now like, I'm out. I'm done. Some people, everybody was in a different spot. It was almost like the chess being not in its spot anymore, but this was such a bigger deal to so many. So Holy, well, let me go back for a second. So for me, I just hit a wall. I just went and I hit the last one. And then I just thought, oh, this is me. I need to go to sleep now. And so I just tried to hang on, and and you guys asked me to come on, and I was like drifting off. I went to sleep. And I think my body just needed to recharge, which was great. In all seriousness, is there anything we can do to help give the Fenn family relief from this lawsuit? I would chip in for a lawyer to relieve the courts. There are some things being discussed. I want to wait on what those would be to see if us as a community can. So just wait and see, is I will say. I have having moments of crying unexpectedly. I'm fine getting stuff done, then think about Forrest not being here on the computer and start crying. Yeah. Well, I did just get a message. I don't know if she wants everybody to know, but gosh. Cynthia's back in town. Right when Cynthia got back in town, her and I were supposed to head to see Forrest and do the 3D bronze box and a few other things, prep for the interview. And she just messaged me half an hour before we came on. She's like, I'm home. And I was like, that would have been the sign of we probably would be there. Either way, just so many things. I'm not gonna anyway, I'm not gonna go to where I was. So just know that there's before it was just like numb. You guys saw me numb. I actually watched the first 5 minutes back of when we went on live, and I was just like, I don't need to talk about it. I didn't remember any of that because I remember it, but it was all fuzzy. Mike did so well because I was in a daze. Especially when we first came on. So thank you to those of you. I still did get hate mail. Thank you for the haters. And I'm just responding with, sure, most of it's anonymous, but yes, sure. I'm all those terrible things. If it helps you get through it, I just ignore them though. And I go, bink, delete. So just know that as well. And thank you. I've had actually a few family friends and others. And I know that maybe I kind of see myself in a sea of searchers. Maybe I wasn't as close with Forrest, but some people have reached out to me to let me know how important we were to each other. And that's so nice. Or, just some joint people we met together and we're all just coming together. So anyway, okay. Anyway, I'm just now at the point of Mike and I actually went out to dinner. We did meet up with Anagram. You just kind of learn to smile again. And like Amy Seek said, sometimes I just lose my breath in a moment and just go, oh, it's just, but I do have to say, I kind of hit the anger part when I did see in the stages when I did see the legal stuff. I just thought, oh, that's so awful to do to a family grieving. And especially being so different than before, because I know Forrest asked me to be as kind and patient with some people that the end of the chase was so hard on, even though they were attacking him, and they're attacking, but now they're attacking his family, in my opinion, or just making stress. I won't say attacking as much as the stress that you have. Why did I get serious here? I'm not getting serious. Tonight was fun. So I don't know what to do, but I have some people that I'm going to reach out to see what we can do. And I don't know what's happening in the Arizona case. I don't know the gentleman in that case, where things are at. So we'll kind of see next steps. I went to give Capro her gold frog. She was sitting, so I got down on one knee and her eyes got big and I realized how it looked. So I just didn't. Yeah, he did. He started getting down on one knee. And actually I was thinking to myself, there's only one guy I want to get down on one knee. And though I love you, Copper Dan, I know you have a Copper Princess. I'm still looking for that. Can I get a Chaseopoly? Are there any left? James, yes, there are. Actually, some came back from Yellowstone. I think I sold, I don't know, 3 or 4 boxes. But yes, we have some. So email chaseopoly@gmail.com. And that's Mike's department. He's the shipper and the thiser and the that. He's financial guy and all that. Forrest didn't say that to me. He told me it was a free country and I could say what I want. Yeah, you probably weren't getting as many messages and getting looped into stuff that was just icky. And there was some really bad stuff going on. So the Fenn tubers are getting us through this from the bottom of my heart. I really thank you all. Oh, that's very nice, 3D bronze. And I will say, even though I was a blubbering mess, it helped me get through all that. And I will say, though, I love Mike. He's not the super emotional type. And so I think for me, seeing Candy, I hope you see this as a positive. When I saw Candy come on and she was as much of we just couldn't even keep our faces composed. I mean, we were crying. And Mike's just a big, strong guy. He doesn't need to be that guy. But when all of us started getting on together and I was like, okay, there's other people that are like a mess like me and it's okay to be that way. Yeah. So for those of you that sent me some shots of how ugly I look, yes, I did. I'm ugly for Forrest because that was my emotion at the time. You get me raw. You get me, this is me, right or wrong. So yeah, I think we're all going to be, it's funny because I talked to somebody that hadn't been in the chase for, 5 years. And it's like, is it true? Did Forrest pass? What's happening? And what do you think is going to happen with the community? And I said, some will peel away. I think we're all going to stay in this. A lot of people are going to stay in this community of treasure hunting, and some will go to different hunts, but we'll all kind of focus. Like when GTC focuses on Fandango, I still think I'm going to know GTC. I'm not going to do Fandango, but we might, go to different hunts at different times together. So yeah, anyway, that's all I have to say. Oh, I think Mike's going to get mad at his computer. Oh, you look better than your haters, even on their worst day. Yeah, and it's always fun when you don't exactly know who they are because it's all anonymous. I hate emotion. See, Randy, you and Cowlazars, I swear to goodness gracious, you guys are twin brothers, or brothers, brother from another mother, whatever the term is. You guys are a lot of like all you Cipher guys and unemotional types, and but he likes to laugh at SNL and he likes Hamilton. My goodness gracious. And that's the other thing, the next event, when is it? It's going to be World Series of Fenn. We're going to keep it World Series of Fenn. We'd actually made that decision the day before, and I hadn't told Forrest, but we were going back and forth of whether to rename it, but it will be World Series of Fenn forever. And so that's when a lot of people are getting coming back together, and we can talk, and we will do a hunt of our own. Mike and I've already talked about it. Hopefully a big one when everybody comes out. So that will be fun. I ugly cry all the time. I do have to say I don't. My last 2 years, I've cried so much that or maybe 3 years. I usually don't unless it's something that's just super huge in my life. So I heard my brother's name. Yeah, but then Indy, you put the purple makeup on after you cried. And you were so cute. You like rebounded so quick. I'm like, I couldn't function for I don't know how long. Should be on tomorrow afternoon for boring Fandango. It's not that it's boring. It's I can't get that. I'm just not going to invest this quick. Now, if they said we're going to go another year, I jump into it. But right now, no. I don't know. Is anybody else going live? Because I do have to. I have kidlet stuff and other things to do. There's lots of stuff happening in my world. So I am going to sign off, but I want to say thank you to everybody. You guys got me through the last little bit, and there's a few people in the room, especially a big shout out to a few of you. You know who you are, but follow me, and there's so many people. I don't even want to name them all. So, but you guys have really made a difference, and because I can, we talked, and T-Bear has sent me something, and of course I cried. I'm like, I don't have any more tears, but I cried when he sent me a message. There's just been so many people that have been so awesome. But getting back to the fun stuff, I want you guys to know, I do want your feedback on the hunts. I knew that you guys were going to absolutely hate my solution, but looking back at it, if you look at it from one step back, was there enough in there? Do you feel there was enough in there? Does there need to be less wordplay? Doesn't mean, I mean, because I thought it was obvious. You guys are looking at it and going, you needed specialized knowledge. No, I didn't feel you did. But if there was too much specialized knowledge, okay, tell me. But we did have 2 people solve it. They were like 4 hours apart. So it wasn't just, or 3 hours apart. It wasn't just overlaid, but yeah. So I love all of you guys. So hopefully somebody else goes live. I'll jump in the chat room, but I got to get to a couple things with Kidlets, and I need to go see if Mike needs a drink. He doesn't drink very often, but he might need one after all of that tonight. So anyway, you guys have a great night, and thank you for being here, and thank you for walking through my puzzle with me, and it was fun. So sending out drawing prizes soon. Susie T, yes, I think tomorrow is Mike sending out drawing prizes. He's sending out drawing prizes. He's sending out prizes. He's sending out Vegas dies. And there's so many packages. I think we have 50 packages to send out. Somebody is going to be his little helper. And so is, I think D-Pro is going to help as well. So, and special thanks to JK that got me a little present, and it was with me. I was in the hotel yesterday, and I pulled everything out of my purse that was Forrest Fenn related, and I was like, oh, I have JK's frog that he gave me. He was so sweet. So yeah, so there is everything. Yeah, so hopefully tomorrow everything goes out. He needed to get his computer up to be able to print the labels, so I don't know what's happening there. We'll know more very soon. So, okay, guys, I hope somebody else goes on live, because I'd love to sit in the chat room, because I need to decompress from a wild few days. So love you all. You're my search family. And special thanks. Last thing I'm going to say, special thanks to Toby. He has checked in at least once a day, maybe twice a day. And he has truly been like a father to me through all of this again. So anyway, love you all. I'm off. Good night.